not read health articles. Semicolon. You might die of a misprint. Full stop. Just now I saw in your promo, cholesterol lowering drug also helps this. You must know how this is generated. This cholesterol lowering drug is the biggest crime on mankind. Cholesterol is produced by your own liver for your own good. You think your body has no wisdom? It kills you. And this is the kind of articles you get every day. Every day. Actually, cholesterol is the most important substance produced by your liver for your sustenance. I'll give you an example. Your body consists of 100 trillion cells. Do you know how much it is? If you keep 100 trillion 10 rupee notes end to end, you can go to sun and come back 50 times. And each cell has 100 trillion atoms. And billions of cells die every day. Billions of cells die every day. So much so, you are not the same person that you were 3 months ago, including your bones are new. And no human being is at a given time older than 6 months. Do you get that? Because in 6 months, you are a new human being. A poet wrote about it, an English poet. No man can get into the same river twice. What a beautiful saying. This is science. No man can get into the same river twice, because when you get into the river and come out, the water has flown down, new water has come. And when you get down again, even after a few minutes, a few million cells in your body are new. So to have, remember this cell has a wall called the membrane, cell wall. And this cell wall is made up of cholesterol. So if you lower your cholesterol against the wish of your own human body, you will die of a cancer faster. If you look at the real science, from the time of what's called cholesterol in the 1950s to the present statins, every single drug, the studies have shown more death at the end of the day for the treated patients. But reports are very good. You know, you want to see your report good, then you must get your cholesterol down. But if you want to live long and healthy, you must not touch your cholesterol. Actually, a recent study in France showed that women who live beyond 80 years have cholesterols in the range of 500. That's the double of what you are told is your norm, or 3 times the norm. And very interesting. Do we have any normal in medicine? There is nothing called normal. What we have is an average. We converted into normal to buckrify you as patients. This is called disease mongering. That's why I call our system, it's not health care system, health scare system. You go to a doctor, he checks you and then says, oh, your cholesterol is not normal. What is normal cholesterol? I don't know. I honestly don't know. What is the normal height of Indian male, do you know? They do a survey. Say 1,000 men are surveyed and then plotted. You know statistics, a little statistics somewhere you studied? There's a Gaussian bell-shaped curve. Mean plus 2 standard deviation. And that is about 5.4 inches plus minus 2 inches. So you are average if you are between 5.2 inches and 5.6 inches. Did you get that? Now we have converted that into normal. So imagine, Amitabh Bachchan comes for a checkup. 6.2, he is abnormal. Our treatment is cut his leg, make him also 5.6. Okay? Jaya Bachchan comes for a checkup. She is 4.6. So our treatment is transplant that leg to her. She will also become average. That's why don't try to go for a checkup if you are well. If you want to really know, there is a nice article, read it, go to the internet, and it's very cheap. A routine checkup of the apparently healthy is the most dangerous thing that can happen to man. Science has changed a lot. What does not change is not called science. There was a big case against science by the creationists in the American Federal Court 10 years ago. They said creationism is right, science is wrong. So the judge gave a very important judgment. He said, science has been changing. Religion has not changed. So what does not change cannot be called science. What changes is only science. So science is changing. As a matter of fact, life itself is changed. I was telling you just a little while ago that millions of your cells die, billions of your cells die every day. If you look at the Oxford Dictionary for the meaning of the word life, it says ceaseless change till death. So you keep on changing, and what changes is science, and science has completely changed. Big Bang Theory, you all write about it now. Lot of science writers even now write about Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory has been blown out long, long ago. There has not even been a whimper. There is no Big Bang at all. You are saying about deterministic predictability. Newton said this goes like this. Action and reaction equal or opposite. Newton's laws of deterministic predictability have been proved wrong by what is called Einstein's theory of relativity. You know what theory of relativity is very difficult to understand, but Einstein explained it very simply like this. If you sat on a hot plate for a fraction of a second, it looks like a year. If a cute young girl sits on your lap for 1 year, it still looks like a fraction of a second. This is called theory of relativity. And theory of relativity has been thrown out completely, lock, stock and barrel, but still we teach that in the school. Do you know that? Einstein had a student in Zurich Polytechnic in 1925. He was sitting in the class. His name was Werner Heisenberg. And he told Einstein, "You are talking to your hat. What happens to a student in the class who tells a Nobel laureate professor of physics that he is talking to his hat? What will happen to the student? He becomes an outstanding student that is standing outside the class." For how long? For 35 long years, this boy had to be outside the physics realm for opposing Einstein. 1955, Einstein dies. 1956, Werner Heisenberg gets the only Nobel Prize, which is worth its weight, not in gold, not in silver. It is worthless, priceless. That is the only Nobel Prize to date which has not been proved wrong. Otherwise, science is always proved wrong. And this is the beauty of science. And we don't teach that. Even the other day I was asking the UGC, why do you teach 1925, pre-1925 physics in schools or colleges today? No answer. Do you know why? There is no business in the latest science of quantum physics. In quantum physics there is no business. But in solid state physics there is a lot of business. You can make a plane, you can build a building, you can build a bridge. All this is fine. You can send a man to moon and he may not come back. But that's again, science is not wrong. Your calculation is wrong. Your solid state physics is wrong. That poor girl Chawla broke down because there is what is called the theta error, which is a power of minus 27. And that is 27 zeros, and you can't even calculate that. So there is what is called the uncertainty principle. That's what Werner Heisenberg propounded in 1925. Somebody asked, which laboratory did you have? Did you have Mangalore University Physics Laboratory? With cyclotron and things like that, which has been tom-tommed every day in the media? No, he said, Gedanken experiment. Like the rishis in India, he used to go to the highest mountain whenever he got confused. And he used to sit there and meditate. And he used to get the answer and come down and write his paper. And Werner Heisenberg is the only physicist who saw that PQ is not equivalent to QP, which means you cannot predict anything in the future. You cannot know what's happening in the future. And that should be like that for the world to go on. Supposing tomorrow science tells you when you're going to die. Let us say, I tell Madam Fatima, Fatima? Wahida. If I tell Wahida that she is going to live 110 years, she'll be such a cruel person. Because she says, I've got 110 years, I'll finish off the world. Supposing I tell X that he or she is going to die tomorrow, she'll be so kind. So kind. So God has intended, if there is a God, or science has not seen God. So science has not seen God, so God doesn't exist. This is science. Did you understand science now? Science has not seen God, so it doesn't exist. But has science seen an electron? No. No scientist to date has seen an electron because it cannot be seen. But still we believe in electron. And so many people got Nobel Prize describing the electron. 1907, J.J. Thomson was the head of the Department of Physics in Cambridge Cavendish Institute. He gets the Nobel Prize for saying that electrons are particles. 30 years later, 1937, his own son, J.G. Thomson, becomes the head of the department in the same university and says they are waves. He gets the Nobel Prize. Father gets the Nobel Prize for saying they are particles. Son gets the Nobel Prize for saying they are waves. And in 1932, Erwin Schrödinger says, have you heard of Schrödinger's cat hypothesis? No, don't worry. Erwin Schrödinger says they are wavicles, they are waves and particles. He gets the Nobel Prize. And in 1925, Werner Heisenberg says you can't know what they are. He gets the Nobel Prize. So I ask these people who say God doesn't exist. I tell them absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Did you understand that? Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Supposing somebody kills you, for God forbid, and there is no evidence, which means are you not killed? You are killed, that's a fact. But there is no evidence. So God cannot be seen. There's a beautiful poem which an American poetess has written. Her name is Christina. She says, have you seen the wind? Who has seen the wind? Writes Christina. Neither you nor I. But when the trees bend and dance, the wind is passing by. Who has seen God? Neither you nor I. But when you are in trouble, you feel God. That's the only difference.